All right, this is Shelley Lake. It's a lake that's a dammed up human-made lake here in Raleigh. And it's just basically an asphalt trail that goes around the lake in this art center, and there's some basketball, some restrooms. But really it's just a nice place to walk around and just go around the lake. Just go in a circle. That's basically it. This is the path to the lake from the parking lot. There's also that parking lot that is down by where you saw like a levee, a giant levee, because that's what's a human-made part. There's a parking lot just south of there too. Yeah, you see a lot of walkers, runners around here, but not too many cyclists. A lot of the greenway stuff that's like this in Raleigh does have a lot of cyclists going at incredibly high speeds, so just keep that in mind. So this is actually a nice one to walk on and not have to walk like off-road on a trail or something like that. And there is a biker, but not like the other trails. Okay, now here we can go either clockwise or counterclockwise. We're actually gotten to the lake and Denise wants to go clockwise.
Counterclockwise.
So counterclockwise. Counterclockwise.
You always ask me when you get it wrong.
All right, so we're gonna go counterclockwise. We'll end up there eventually. All right, you're starting to see the levee area over there, and there'll be an uphill climb at the end of this. There's also some controversy about how Shelley Lake is spelled. Some of it's S-H-E-L-L-Y, some of it's S-H-E-L-L-E-Y. It's even different on there's signs that are here on the property. Some of it's that way, one way, some of it's the other way. See, this sign right here says S-H-E-L-L-E-Y, Shelley Lake Trail. A little bit of history, this used to be the bathrooms right here, and now they knocked the house down. Now it's just a little picnic area with a view. But that's why they have those new bathrooms there at the parking lot, I guess. So here it is. If you're running down here, you get to that thing up here, and you really, if you want to maintain speed, you really have to pour it on, because it just feels like you're going straight uphill. Are they calling this Mine Creek Trail? And they have a fence here, but so you can walk right on the levee here, and this is what borders the road where we came in originally. And the best view of the lake is actually right here, off in this direction, especially when it greens out. Also in the afternoon, when you have the sun like behind you there, it's best for pictures than just like right now. Unfortunately, it's not very quiet on this end because of the road. And there's the parking lot down there I was telling you about. You could have gone over there also. Down on the parking lot, there's another entrance to the trail right there, and it takes you across a little bridge where the creek flows out here, because it's got the overflow water, you know, from the lake, and it flows down to the creek, continuing. And then there's another steep incline over there up to this levee area. You can see the overflow water is continuing in the creek. This is just a dammed up creek, basically, by humans. Nice clean water, huh? This field over here, a lot of times people use this for practice of all kinds, especially on the weekends. You see all kinds of runners and walkers here all the time. I didn't notice how long her hair was. Look at that. All right, so we are going to continue around the lake on the east side now. There is a speed limit here. So this northern side has very, very many trees. It's very shaded. This whole area, actually most of it, you can see the height of these drains is in a flood area. So it does have a tendency after heavy rains to completely flood out, and some of it gets messed up from time to time. But we're not really in that time right now, so we're fine. But especially after super heavy storms, like right after rainstorms, sometimes the water rises up and actually covers up some of the trail. and also with mud. Things are much quieter, much more nature sounds anyway on this end. All right, when you get to this point, we're gonna end up making a left to continue around the lake. You can see the North Hills Drive is to the right, and the yellow actually tells you where to go, which is make a left right here. Yeah, plus I just ate a bug, so be careful. You can see this entire area is subject to washout during a rainstorm. When you reach this area, you're gonna turn left over the bridge. You can see this area has been plowed with dirt. It gets muddy here, especially down this area after rainstorms. This specific area to the left washes out more than any of the other areas, I think. You can see some wetness on the trail here, where like water has come off the creek and gone it through here. It's like this is almost like part of the creek here where we're walking, and it does get covered in mud. There's another example. You can see like where the water comes onto the greenway and then off back into the creek there, and it gets a little bit higher in this area. Actually, I think this used to be the path, and they realigned it because it would flood out all the time. You can see we're going down to the lower area here. And it's more than just flooding out. It's totally covered in mud. See that runners going on these old trails on the side here that are a little bit higher up. Look at all these trees that got cut down. This is like another flood area that's uphill. It sifts down into here, you can see, and then all the water runs onto the path and mud. There's a little bit of a tube here, drainage, whatever, but it doesn't always work. There's so much water comes down. Denise tells me that's called a pipe. You can see how tall the storm drain pipes are. That's because the water can get up that high. As you come down here, you get the water level, potential water level gets higher and higher. So I'm guessing that's probably why they relocated those bathrooms, because they were in an area where that would flood. Uh-oh, biker. Then you see how high that storm drain tube is? That's because the water level can get almost that high. So those have to be, the vents above the potential water level. That's why this whole thing could flood out, and does, all the way up to the top of that levee, really. It does from time to time. So all that gets underwater too. It says don't feed the ducks, but this is, or the geese, this is where we started off, right on the other side of this bridge.
These birds are from Florida.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, way out there. There it goes, flying.
Is that the black one?
So far, walking up to this point from that parking lot all the way around one lap, it's about 2.25 miles. Denise is running up the hill. This time we're going down into the parking lot, crossing the little bridge. says smoking not allowed. Alright, I think they've changed all the signs now. All of them say Shelley. Some of them used to say Shelley, but they've removed those. I think it was one that was actually up here near the bottom of the lake. Alright, so this ironwood goes down here, and there is definitely a smell of raw sewage. This thing goes all the way down. You can go down to another greenway and to Crabtree Mall.
There's skeeters in there.
Do you like the smell of raw sewage down here? Yeah, everything down here has a really bad smell to it. The sewage, the water. There's drain pipes, I think, go down here, but it's also just the water, I think. This is one of the sewer pipes that continues flowing downward. They're getting... This one has a limp?
Yes.
So this one doesn't have a limp.
No.
No limp. All right, that's the end of our walk, 2 laps. And here's the map of this whole place. This is the southern end, northern end, east, west. We're right up there.
It's a duck hunt. Well, earlier this one was saying which one it was.
All right, so the total walk was 4.44 miles, twice around, one time on the levee, one time below. What did you think of that walk?
It was a nice walk, not bad.
And you like the bathrooms?
Yeah, the bathrooms were really clean and modern. They had automatic flushers, the water was instantly warm, and the paper towels were able to be dispensed. So I give it a 5-star review.